Hello everyone, this is part 8 of What If Naruto Meets the Nine Tails Early, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
A pain-filled scream was heard throughout the stadium and feathers began to fall down from the sky. The more experienced Jonin, Chunin, and even a few genin recognized that this was genjutsu. As those who recognized what was happening dispelled the effects of the genjutsu, the sand shinobi in the audience and the sound shinobi, disguised as civilians in the audience, leapt into action as they began their assault. In the stadium, Sasuke was forced back as an arm extended out of the ball, pushing him back and trying to grab onto him at the same time. "Damn Kit, this could get really bad," said the fox as Naruto was still watching Sasuke's fight while the fighting in the stands had just begun. In the stands, most of the Chunin and Jonin had already dispelled the genjutsu. Sakura, having the intelligence and capability to use genjutsu, dispelled hers, and Hinata did the same, being the student of Konoha's genjutsu mistress. Unfortunately for another of her teammates, this wasn't the case as Kiba fell asleep almost instantly. On the other hand, Naruto had no idea what to make of the feathers and he would have fallen under the effects of the genjutsu if it hadn't been for the giant fox that lived in his head, who was already sending out small bursts of chakra to disrupt the genjutsu. "So Kabuto has started his move," the Kazekage thought, looking over at the Hokage. He knew what was going on, that wasn't the Kazekage. The two guards popped a smoke screen. Once the smoke settled, the Kazekage had the Hokage with a knife held to his neck. Everyone from the sand and sound recognized the signal and began their attack. All throughout the stadium, sounds could be heard of the leaf ninja engaging with one another. Outside the village, a giant three-headed snake had appeared and began rampaging through the outskirts of the village. Upon seeing their Hokage being held captive, a team of Anbu attempted a rescue, only to be intercepted by the Kazekage's guards. The guards were quickly dispatched, although they revealed themselves to actually be four sound ninja posing as two guards. They took up a position around the rooftop that the two cages were. "Ninja art, quad purple flame wall." The four sound ninja shouted in unison. A purple wall of flame rose around the area where the cages were. One of the Anbu tried to burst through the wall, but caught flame as he was repelled. The Hokage was on his own to face his foe. For sooner to betray Konoha, the Hokage said to his captor. "An alliance is only useful to camouflage and make the enemy lower his guard. The stupid fighting games end here, history will change. You want to start a war?" The Hokage asked. "Precisely," the Kazekage said. "You should avoid conflict and seek out diplomatic solutions." "There is still time," said the Hokage. "Hey, do we become peace-loving fools when we age, Sarutobi-sensei?" The Kazekage hissed. "You," said the Hokage. Baki, Kankuro, and Temari jumped down besides Gaara, as the cocoon of sand peeled away to reveal Gaara clutching his head in pain. "With Gaara like this, what are we supposed to do?" asked Temari as Baki was thinking on a new strategy. Gaara was the sand's trump card and even with the sound's help, it would be difficult to defeat the leaf without Gaara. "You two get Gaara out of here and try and prepare him for the plan," ordered Baki. Temari and Kankuro obliged and took their brother out of the stadium. "Is the leader of your party Orochimaru?" Genma asked Baki as the two faced each other. "Who knows, let's just have some fun," responded Baki. "What the hell is going on?" shouted a confused Sasuke. "Sasuke, sorry but the Chunin exams are now over," explained Genma. "The leaf is under attack by a combination of sand and sound shinobi. If you're a leaf shinobi, then return to your sensei, gather a team and stop Gaara from carrying out whatever plan he may have." "So what kind of guy is this Orochimaru?" a ninja asked on the outer wall of the village. A group of upper-level Chunin and Jonin-level ninja had been deployed to the outer wall to defend against the invading ninja. "He was formerly the Sandaime student," replied Ibiki. "Why did he become a missing nin?" another guard asked. "Because, when the Yondaime was chosen, Orochimaru felt he was the better choice, but he wasn't chosen," Ibiki replied. "Pretty soon after that, he defected from the village. From that, Orochimaru most likely holds a grudge against the Sandaime." "Revenge?" one of the guards asked, a little shook. "Most likely. When I saw him as a child, there was only one thought going through my head," stated Ibiki. That he wasn't human. He was only wearing a human shape. I was afraid, absolutely terrified. At that time, another guard appeared on the platform they were stationed on. Report. The newly arriving ninja said. Giant serpents have appeared at the eastern entrance of Konoha and approximately 100 sand ninja have begun invading the village. Have all shinobi assume their positions and get in contact with the commander of the eastern gate. Ordered Ibiki as everyone obeyed. I see, so that's how it is, responded the Hokage. Your foolishness has caused the leaf to fall further behind. I have one, claimed the Kazekage, ripping off his face to reveal. Orochimaru, said the Hokage. I thought this day would come eventually, but you won't get my head so easily. I told you that you should have picked the Godime. Because you will die here today, Sandaime, sneered Orochimaru. Kakashi, Guy, Zabuza, and the other Jonin and Chunin had begun engaging the enemy ninja attacking them. Looking up at where the Hokage was supposed to be, Kakashi saw a barrier ninjutsu surrounding the area. Guy pointed out something and Kakashi realized what was inside the barrier, Orochimaru and the Hokage. Orochimaru. Both Sakura and Naruto said in unison. Both of them thought of Sasuke, who Orochimaru had attempted to get his hands on during the second round, only to be foiled by a certain demon brat. Could this be another attempt for him to get his hands on Sasuke? Orochimaru. Isn't he one of the Sannin? The one who became a missing ninja? Asked Zabuza as both Kakashi and Guy nodded. I'm still not sure why he is here, said Kakashi, but it's not good. Kit. Behind you. Naruto turned around to see two sound ninja darting towards him. He then felt a small amount of Kurama's chakra surge into him, giving him the necessary speed to dodge their attack and retaliate, sending them into the wall behind them. Thanks, said Naruto to the fox. Unfortunately for Sakura, she didn't have the speed to evade or retaliate against her attackers. However, she did have Kakashi. Kakashi dug two kunai into the attackers' heads, killing them. Stay like that for a little while, Sakura, I'll even the odds, said Kakashi, giving his student a smile. Hey Kakashi, it's been a while since our last challenge, my eternal rival, said Guy. What do you say? Eternal rival. Zabuza though, staring at Guy. He wasn't quite sure where this was going. Most kills wins. Kakashi responded, giving a little smile. Guy nodded. Upon hearing this, now Zabuza wanted in. Now you are talking, Zabuza replied. Looks like he have a new rival, Kakashi. Responded Guy. Zabuza's sweat dropped upon hearing that. Ha, you say something Guy, replied Kakashi, enraging Guy with his coolness. So whoever kills the most sound and sand ninja wins, correct? Zabuza asked, pulling out his sword. Yes, but our primary objective is to prevent casualties, Kakashi replied. Although, I'm concerned about the Hokage. Let the Anbu handle it. Besides, that person is the Hokage, he's not to be taken lightly, replied Guy as Kakashi, Zabuza, and Guy began the contest. At the same time, Naruto was fending off a few of the sound ninja that had decided to attack him. He was knocking them out with ease, thanks to the boosts in strength and speed given to him by the fox. However, as the number of sound increased, he found himself back to back with Hinata, who almost fainted realizing who she was so close to, but she knew that if she fainted now, she would either die, or lose all the respect that she had just gained over the past month. The sound ninja charged at the two genin. And Naruto, get down, she said to him. Somehow, Naruto knew that was the right thing to do and he fell to the ground as Hinata began moving her arms. Protection of the 8 trigrams. She yelled out as the dome of cutting chakra formed around the two, severely injuring any of the sound ninja that had tried to attack them. Wow, I knew that was an amazing technique from the battle, but I never knew it was this good, thought Naruto. Hey, that little vixen is certainly full of surprises, Kurama responded. When she stopped her attack, she was panting heavily, having not fully recovered her chakra from her fight with Shino. Suddenly, about a dozen more ninja appeared in front of each of them and another dozen behind them. Naruto pulled a single shuriken out and aimed it at the sound ninja, causing them to laugh a little. They could easily handle one shuriken. Naruto threw the shuriken. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, he said, pumping a lot of chakra into the jutsu. Suddenly, the single shuriken became 50 and took the sound ninja by surprise. When all was said and done, 2 of the sound lay dead and 3 more severely injured. Out of anger, the remaining sound ninja charged at the 2 genin. Only to be stopped and killed by Zabuza. He had stepped in between them, and with a single swipe of his executioner blade, all 7 dropped to the ground, dead. Naruto was still a little shaken by the fact that he had actually killed. Zabuza turned to him. "Were those your first kills, kid?" he asked as Naruto could only help but nod. "Kid, get over it," said Kurama, trying to snap him back. "Right there, you had to kill them. If you didn't, they probably would have gotten to your little vixen and potentially killed her. Now, you wouldn't want that. Nor would you want anyone else in this village to die, right?" No, I guess not," replied Naruto. "And stop calling her my vixen. Then you have no choice but to kill those who are threatening those close to you," said Kurama as Naruto began to snap to that realization. If he was to protect the leaf, then he would have to kill the enemy ninja. Kurama let the vixen comment slide. He figured it was only a matter of time anyways. Just don't beat yourself up over having to kill someone. As a shinobi, you will have to kill. The sooner you realize that, the better. Trust me, you did the right thing. If you didn't kill, you and your friend could be in trouble, the former demon in the mist said, practically repeating what Kurama had said. The 12 sound ninja who were facing Hinata were ready to attack. They were a little cautious after seeing what she had done to their comrades, but attacked nonetheless. Unfortunately, with Naruto at her back, she didn't have much freedom to dodge. Gentle Fist, 8 trigrams, 128 palms. Hiashi called out, disabling all of the attackers who were attacking his daughter. "Father," Hinata called out as Hiashi ran to her. "Hinata, now is not the time to try and prove something. As a leaf ninja, your primary duty is to get those who cannot protect themselves to safety," explained Hiashi. "Go with Kurenai and help to evacuate the villages. Also, go find your sister and get her to safety as well." "Yes, father," replied Hinata. She turned to Kurenai and Naruto. "I'll be fine, don't worry. I've got Kakashi-sensei and Zabuza," replied Naruto, giving her his usual grin. Hinata took off with her sensei. "Hinata, please be safe. I can't be losing you now that you've finally awakened," thought Hiashi, turning his attention to the attacking sound ninja. 12, Kakashi said, jabbing his Reikiri through the chest of a ninja who saw the cowering Sakura and tried to attack her. 14, my eternal rival. "The power of youth burns in me today," exclaimed Guy, sending a sound ninja through a stone column and down onto the arena floor below. Power of youth, Zabuza thought. He still didn't get this spandex-wearing Jonin. Is that all? I've already killed 21. So it seems we might have a new eternal rival, a Kakashi, said Guy, slamming another sound ninja into a third sound ninja. Why did I come here? Zabuza thought, sweat dropping. He was contemplating using that sword on Guy as well. Kakashi's attention then turned to Sakura. Like he said, he had evened the odds and it was a little safer for her to come out of hiding. "Sakura, it was worth teaching you genjutsu, as I thought, you have a talent for it," praised Kakashi. At that time, Sasuke joined them in the stands and Haku came shortly after. Kakashi then turned to Naruto, realizing that he was in fact awake, which was weird as he had no recollection of teaching Naruto how to dispel genjutsu. Team 7 then gathered around their sensei as the fighting began to die down in the area around the stands. "I have an A-rank mission for the 4 of you." "A rank?" shouted a surprised and happy Naruto. "Yes, what you said to me about Gaara being a Jinchuriki is not good. In fact, I have a bad feeling about it. Now, a Jinchuriki is," instructed Kakashi as he was cut off by Sasuke. "We know," Sasuke said, pointing at Naruto who had a slight grin on his face as Kakashi's eyes widened. "What? When?" asked Kakashi in surprise. "The Forest of Death, when we encountered Orochimaru," explained Sakura. This confirmed Kakashi's suspicions about his team and their knowledge of what was inside Naruto. He would have to have a long chat with them after this was all over. "Anyways, the 4 of you are to track down Gaara and stop him before anything bad happens," explained Kakashi. "I have a feeling Naruto knows the most about what's going on with Gaara, Sarai." Naruto's eyes widened as he realized what Kakashi was hesitant to say. "I appoint Naruto the leader for this mission," said a reluctant Kakashi. "Yeah, you can count on me, sensei," shouted Naruto. The 3 other members of Team 7 dropped their heads, now doubting Kakashi's judgment. However, one thing was true, when it came to demons and Jinchuriki, Naruto was the best source of knowledge they had. On their way out of the village, Team 7 noticed a few civilians cornered by about a dozen sound ninja. They could see no one else around, and Naruto remembered what Kurama said about protecting the people of this village. The four of them made a quick detour as three of the sound ninja charged at the unprotected civilians, intending to kill. The woman closest to the sound ninja feared this would be it for her, until the sound ninja fell to her feet, dead. Looking up to see her savior, she didn't expect what she had seen. The one she had referred to as the demon brat, and hated as a result, had been the one to come to her rescue. Team 7 had now engaged the rest of the sound ninja, who did not have time to react as Sakura trapped them in a genjutsu long enough for Sasuke, Naruto, and Haku to ready for an attack to take them down. A few seconds later, and all 12 sound ninja laid dead. You're, the woman stuttered, pointing at Naruto. Yeah, I know, I'm the demon brat, said Naruto, finishing her sentence. No, you saved me, she exclaimed as the rest of Team 7 took off in the direction of Gaara. Was he really that bad? All she could think about was whether or not he really was a demon child. Everyone else in the group of civilians were thinking the same thing. He had helped save them. A demon child wouldn't do that, but he did. Receiving information from Kurama about the Ichibi, it became blatantly obvious that their intention was to unleash the Shukaku on Konoha. The team quickly agreed that could not happen. In another section of Konoha, Hinata had found herself up against a squad of sand ninja. She was separated from Kurenai when they split to survey the area. Two of the sand ninja attacked and Hinata was busy parrying or evading their attacks. However, she was too busy dealing with them, and was unable to deal with the barrage of kunai coming at her from the other two sand ninja who had stayed back. Kaiten! Shouted Neji, blocking the incoming attack. Neji Nezen! Said Hinata, surprised by her cousin's sudden appearance and him actually defending her. Hinata-sama, said Neji. This also surprised Hinata as there was no resentment in his use of an honorific associated with her name. I have learned a few very important things in the past hour, and I want to say that I am truly sorry for how I have treated you, but now is not the time for such apologies. We must show these traitors why the Hyuga is the strongest clan in the Leaf. Hinata was uplifted by Neji's sudden turning. The two took their stances as the four Suna ninja surrounded them. Hinata-sama, are you versed in the 8 trigrams? Asked Neji. Yes, I can do the first 32 strikes, but I'm still not comfortable on the next 32, explained Hinata. Well, then just try your best, he encouraged. Gentle fist, 8 trigrams, 64 palms. The two of them declared in unison as they proceeded to attack their opponents. Seconds later, the sand ninja crumpled to the ground as channeling chakra through their bodies was now almost impossible. Neji noticed something about Hinata there. It wasn't so much during the first 32 strikes, although it was present, but during the last 32 strikes that he noticed something was off. It was almost as if she was forcing it upon herself rather than letting the attack come naturally to her. With the stadium secure, Kakashi remained behind to fend off any remaining enemies and to aid Genma with the coming battle between him, Baki, and the cloaked figure that had just arrived next to Baki. For Guy and Zabuza, they realized that their abilities were needed elsewhere as a few waves of sound and sand shinobi had begun to invade the village from the outside, increasing the number of enemies inside the village. One of the most problematic opponents for the Leaf Ninja was the giant snake making its way through the village. Ninpu, Watchtower Demolisher Jutsu. A giant toad came crashing down on top of the snake, killing it. On top of the toad stood Jiraiya. Long time no see, Ayabiki. He said. Jiraiya-sama, called Abiki. The other guards were both shocked and relieved that another of the Sannin had joined the battle, but on their side. Little chickadees. Jiraiya began to chant. Open 'em small eyes of yours, as wide as you can, and take a really good look. Blessed be. It's the Twilight Zone Flight of Rampage, by Jiraiya, the alien sage ninja. A few people's sweat dropped after Jiraiya's self-introduction. Where's the Sandaime? He asked. On top of that building, with Orochimaru. Said Abiki. Don't be dying on me now, old man, thought Jiraiya. Team 7 had successfully left the village and was in pursuit of the 3 sand ninja, who intended to unleash the Shukaku upon Konoha. As Gaara was injured, the 3 of them were moving at a much slower pace than normal, and it wasn't long until they sensed their pursuers. Knowing that they had to get Gaara in position before the demon began to take over, Kankuro made the necessary sacrifice and fell behind to slow down the pursuing Leaf Ninja. As Team 7 was making their way through the forest outside the village, they found themselves under attack by a barrage of needles. Thanks to Haku's quick reactions, the needles bounced off a blockade of ice, leaving the team unharmed. Naruto, I can handle him. This will let the three of you continue on to Gaara, suggested Haku, waiting for the leader's call. Fine. Just catch up with us later, Haku, determined Naruto, as the rest of the team continued on. Kankuro tried to stop them, but another shield of ice allowed Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura to get away. Naruto had explained to the team that as the Ichibi got free, then that thing would destroy most of Konoha itself before the leaf could mount any sort of response. With the leaf already under siege, repelling both Orochimaru's forces and a demon would be near impossible. Their only hope was to get to Gaara before H fully unleashed the demon. Haku was now facing Kankuro, doing what he felt he must in order for his friends to get through and stop Gaara. Kankuro released the puppet from his back and sent it towards Haku with a poisoned blade at the ready. Haku easily blocked the assault, forming an ice mirror in front of him. Realizing that the ice was too thick to break through, Kankuro had his puppet move around the mirror. As it did, Haku did not move and the puppet's blade impaled Haku, only for him to burst into a puddle of water, soaking the puppet in the meantime. Haku made a quick hand seal and the puppet began to crack apart as the expansion of the water that had seeped inside the puppet forces the puppet into pieces. Kankuro swore under his breath as Haku had gotten past his puppet. However, Kankuro had a second puppet that Haku had forgotten about from the preliminary exams. Coming from behind an unsuspecting Haku, Kankuro's second puppet opened its chest cavity and grabbed Haku, trapping him inside. Normally, Kankuro would use his first puppet's blades to stab the inside of the puppet, but Haku had reduced that puppet to nothing but scrap. He then decided to use a poison gas ball that he had installed to poison Haku inside the cavity. Hyoten, Destruction Ice Spears, called out Haku as large ice spears shot out from Kankuro's puppet, ripping it to shreds and freeing Haku. Haku was panting as that last attack did require a large amount of chakra to use, but now Kankuro was puppetless. Hyoten, Ice Prison. As he unleashed his next jutsu, Kankuro found himself becoming encased in ice. Haku had pretty much bested him. Temari and Gaara were hurrying as best as they could to get into a position where they could unleash the Shukaku upon Konoha, but give the troops enough of a warning so that they wouldn't be killed as well. As such, they had planned to go around Konoha, to the top of the plateau that the Hokage monument was carved into and they would unleash the Shukaku there, effectively sandwiching Konoha's forces between the sound forces and the Shukaku. However, because of the activity of the Leaf's patrols, scouting the area for any additional enemies that may approach the village, the two of them were forced to take a wide detour away from the village and around to the back. As a result, the team that had been sent to intercept them was rapidly approaching and Kankuro had failed to slow them down. What made it worse was that the demon inside Gaara was beginning to force its way out. Gaara finally got to the point where he could no longer proceed as the mental anguish had become too much and he begged for Temari to get away before it was too late. It was at this time that Team 7 showed up. "We don't know what you're planning, but we know it's not good and that we have to stop you right here," declared Sasuke, jumping down to face Gaara. Gaara bent over in pain as the demon began to emerge, partially transforming his arm and half of his head in the process. Inside Naruto, Kurama was warning him that Gaara's transformation had already begun and that they needed to do something quick. Temari had retreated to a tree about 100 meters away from where Gaara was. This wasn't necessarily a safe distance, but it gave her a nice view of the coming fight and would give her a slight head start should she need to escape. You're strong, you have companions, and you have ambition, like me, said Gaara. I'll kill you. Once I have done that, I will have ended that. Once I have done that, I will feel alive. Come let me feel it. Team 7 felt a wave of killing intent radiate from Gaara that was more intense than what they felt from the Forest of Death. The three members of Team 7 looked on in horror at Gaara's transformation. It was almost like what Naruto went through, but it seemed as if Gaara wasn't in complete control. Are you afraid of me? Taunted Gaara. Afraid of my existence. Remember, you are now my prey. Taking advantage of the shocked expressions, Gaara lashed out his sand arm at Team 7 as they just managed to evade. They spent the next few minutes trying to evade Gaara's attacks and Gaara's taunts continued. What's the matter? Are you afraid of me? Called Gaara. Have your fears overtaken you? I thought this was going to be exciting. How do you intend to kill those you were meant to kill? Are your reasons for existence that puny? If you crave an answer, come and get me. It was intentional, he left me alive for a reason, thought Sasuke. He let me live so that he doesn't have to feel guilty about killing the entire clan. My brother Itachi chose me to be the Avenger. My sole reason for existence is to hunt and destroy him. Taking Gaara's taunts to heart, Sasuke activated his Chidori and charged at Gaara. Naruto had warned him not to rush into this, heeding the warnings coming from the fox. When the attack landed, Sasuke's Chidori carved through Gaara's arm like butter. Ah ha 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 ha, laughed Gaara. His wound wasn't bleeding, at least not blood. It was bleeding sand, which quickly closed the wound, healing his arm. I see, so that's what it was. The reason why I'm so excited. I just got the answer, the pain. Defeating a man who's strong enough to hurt me and utterly destroying him. That's what gives me an even greater sense of existence. Gaara begged for more and his transformation progressed further as a tail emerged, resembling his arm. Inside Naruto, Kurama was swearing at the events. Sasuke, Kurama told me that fire is the way to go against him, explained Naruto, taking the advice directly from the Kyuubi. Sasuke remembered the battle back in the stadium and understood what Naruto was referring to. Kaiten, dragon fire breath, shouted Sasuke as he gathered the chakra and expelled it as a flamethrower towards Gaara. Gaara blocked the fire with his tail, but he noticed that it slowly began turning into glass. You, hissed Gaara as he noticed that Naruto had jumped down to Sasuke's side. You're the one I failed to kill the other day. Gaara's rage intensified as he lashed out with his hand towards Naruto. Naruto screamed for everyone to get away, but Sakura wasn't quick enough. The sand hand struck her, pinning her against a tree and knocking her unconscious. Sakura. Both Naruto and Sasuke screamed. What is she to you? Questioned Gaara. She's my comrade. Let her go or else I'm going to kick your ass, declared Naruto. Gaara's grip on Sakura tightened as Sasuke was struggling to free her, but to no avail. Ha ha. The only way she'll be released is if you can beat me. Not only that, but the sand will get tighter as time passes, slowly crushing her, claimed Gaara. He removed his arm from Sakura, but still left some sand to pin her and slowly crush her. Sakura let out a slight gasp as the sand tightened, most likely breaking a few of her ribs. Both Sasuke and Naruto now realized that their only hope to save her was to beat him. Naruto looked at Gaara, trying to figure out why exactly he was doing this. What he saw was part of himself. What sad eyes, very lonely. Just like me, he's had to live with a monster in him, thought Naruto. I loathed everyone. I couldn't understand why they hated my very existence. When I learned the Kyuubi was inside me I felt terrible, it was so painful. But, then I met Iruka-sensei, Sakura, Sasuke, Kakashi-sensei, Hinata, everyone, and, even you Kurama. Despite all the pain we've gone through from the villages, you and I accepted each other and I consider you a friend. You could be just like the Shukaku, manipulating me and trying to escape and destroy everything, yet you decided to help me. What's the matter, afraid of me? Taunted Gaara. To fight for yourself or to fight for others, just love yourself, fight only for your sake. Come on, fight me. Show me your power. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other. This fight was going to require all of their power. Fine. If you want to see my power, here. Shouted Naruto. Sasuke knew what was coming as a demonic chakra began to wisp around Naruto, forming into a fox-like chakra cloak. Let's go Kurama. His cloak began to take on the one-tailed form as Kurama began to force even more chakra into the kid, slowly pushing another tail out of the chakra cloak. Sasuke, we need to hit this guy hard and fast, said Naruto, Sasuke agreeing. Ha ha. Sand Shuriken. Shouted Gaara as he sent a wave of sand shuriken towards Naruto and Sasuke, sending them flying back. The two-leaf ninja rebounded as Gaara laughed at them. They looked at each other and connected like they did when first fighting Zabuza in the Land of Waves. Kaiten, Dragon Fire Jutsu. Shouted Sasuke, unleashing his attack. Gaara blocked with his tail, causing more of it to turn from sand to glass, but nowhere near enough to slow Gaara down. Gaara sent his arm out, trying to hit Sasuke, but Sasuke's Sharingan had caught this and he dodged before Gaara's attack could make contact. When Gaara looked around, he saw that a particular Yachiruki with a fox-like cloak was missing. What happened next, Gaara would be feeling for the next few months, regardless of his demon state. Straight from the teachings of Kakashi-sensei and refined from the teachings of Pervy Sage. Ultimate secret technique. An eternity of pain. A Rasengan that Naruto had formed came slamming up into Gaara, just underneath the tail. The blast of the attack sent Gaara flying as it looked like half of him had been blasted away. Gaara let out a sadistic scream of both pain and enjoyment. Temari looked on at the damage that Naruto had actually inflicted to Gaara. For those of you wondering, yes, that technique is essentially a Rasengan to the ass. What was that? Asked Sasuke. My new technique, smiled a fox-cloaked Naruto. Ha ha, you were fun, Naruto Uzumaki. But now it is time you die. Shouted Gaara. No, it's finally here, said a horror-struck Temari. Suddenly, a giant figure began to rise above the forest. The true form of the Shukaku had appeared. Damn, no matter how you look at it, this is bad. Shouted Kurama. I know that. Anyway, you can channel more chakra to me. Replied Naruto. No, at least not without the risk of destroying yourself. This is the most I can give you right now. However, the transformation is not fully complete. We can still stop him, but we need that giant toad that I told you about, explained Kurama. Sand began to rise up around Sasuke and Naruto as Gaara prepared to make his final move. Kit, channel an entire tail worth of my chakra into this summoning jutsu and hope for the best, advised Kurama. Ino, Tori, Saru, Hitsuji, Naruto chanted, going through the hand seals. Now die. Desert coffin. Gaara called out. To think I was forced to use this form. No, I will protect my friends. Shouted Naruto. Summoning jutsu. Who are you? Where's Jiraiya? Asked the giant toad. It worked. Thought an exuberant Naruto. Sasuke just stared in awe as he also realized that they were atop a giant toad. The cloak surrounding Naruto had now been reduced to an aura of demonic chakra surrounding him. How? Said Sasuke at a loss of words. Jiraiya. You mean that pervert of a sage? Asked Naruto to the giant toad. Yeah, him. I thought I told him not to summon me, complained the big toad. Well, you see, I kind of summoned you, replied Naruto. The giant toad just laughed. You expect me to think that a little brat like you summoned me? Gamabunter, the toad boss. Said Gamabunter. Yeah, well, you see, I heard about your powers from a friend of mine and I thought you could help me out with that. Said Naruto, pointing at the giant badger. That's the Shukaku of the sands, grumbled Gamabunter. Naruto Uzumaki, who the hell is he? He amuses me to no end, thought Gaara. Naruto, how did you? Asked Sasuke. It's a summoning contract that Pervy Sage let me sign a month ago, replied Naruto. So this is the power of a summoning contract. I have to get one, thought Sasuke, his desire for power kicking in slightly. Thought the chief toad, taking a smoke from his pipe. I'll help you this once, punk, but that's it. And tell that Jiraiya that we need to talk the next time you see him. He then drew his sword and faced the Shukaku Gaara. Hold on tight. With that, Gamabunter leaped at Gaara. With a strong swing of his sword, he cleaved the arm of the Shukaku, losing his sword in the process. Hey boss, watch over there. Sakura is over there, said Naruto, pointing to the area they once were. We have to defeat him or we can't save Sakura. You're fun, Naruto Uzumaki. Exclaimed Gaara. What's that? Naruto said, noticing something arise on the Shukaku's head. So that's the medium, said Gamabunter. The medium was Gaara, emerging from the demon's head. Thank you for entertaining me. Now I'll show you the true power of the demon of the desert. Said the medium. That medium shows the signs of insomnia from being possessed by the Shukaku. Take a look at those bags under his eyes. I could give him competition, explained Gamabunter. Those possessed by the badger demon become such that they can't even have a single night of decent sleep. It's because of the terror. If they sleep, their personality is eaten away by the Shukaku, until it completely disappears. Now you see why that damn raccoon drives everyone insane. Said Kurama, causing Naruto to let out a slight laugh. Because the medium suffers from a lack of sleep, their personality is unstable. However, while that medium is awake, the Shukaku's true powers are suppressed. But if that medium were to fall asleep, Gamabunter explained. Ninpu, spell of the fake sleep. The medium called out, falling asleep. I'm finally out. And here's someone I wanna kill right now. Oh, and then there's a village over there just waiting for me, the Shukaku said. What the? Said Jiraiya as he looked over to see two rather large and distant figures engage one another. Taking out his spyglass, he saw that they were Gamabunta and the Shukaku. But wait, did Naruto actually manage to summon Gamabunta? Fearing for what was going down, Jiraiya made his way towards the Battle of Giants. Around the village, the civilian population had finally been evacuated and the Leaf could now retaliate at full force. At the memorial stone, on the outskirts of the village, Yugao, an Anbu with long purple hair bowed before the stone as her squad departed to join the battle. Inside the village, Hiashi had come into contact with over a dozen sound shinobi who all darted towards him. He easily repelled them using a chitin that was much stronger than Neji's. Do not forget that the Hoiga is the strongest in the Leaf, he declared. Ninpu, multi-sized jutsu. Chooser shouted as he expanded to roughly the size of the giant toad that Jiraiya had dropped on the snakes earlier. He began attacking enemies left and right and there was nothing they could do about the giant. My body, Asuna Shinobi called out, not being able to move. He had been caught by the shadow arts of Shikaku, Shikamaru's father. Shadow neck bind jutsu. He called out as the shadow worked its way up the sand shinobi's neck, strangling him to death. Mind-body switch. Inoiki, Ino's father, called out. He switched minds with one of the Suna shinobi and began using that ninja to attack the other enemies. Hey, just like old times, Inoiki said, joining Shikaku and Chooser. The good old days of the Inoshikacho formation, exclaimed Shikaku. The Leaf's legendary Inoshikacho formation was back together. As for Zabuza and Guy, they were now on the full offensive with the current count at 49 for Guy, 53 for Zabuza, and 42 for Kakashi, who was back at the stadium, now aiding Genma with his battle against Baki and the. Needless to say, Kakashi wasn't going to be getting many more kills in their competition. Fuyuten, wind bomb, called the Shukaku, slamming its hand into its stomach and unleashing a few massive bullets of wind. We're gonna jump, warned Gamabunta as he dodged the attack. Suten, water cannonball. Gamabunta launched his water bullets to counter the remaining air bullets of the Shukaku. The two attacks collided in midair. However, one of the Shukaku's bullets remained unblocked and clocked Gamabunta square in the chin. Haha, I killed it, screamed the Shukaku. However, Gamabunta was not dead as he got back up to his feet. That hurt, you overgrown badger, shouted Gamabunta. Kid, even I can't take too many hits from that. We've got to wake up that medium. How? Asked Naruto. I don't know. We've got to get close enough to it or slow it down somehow, said Gamabunta. If I could just increase the power of my fire, that might work, said Sasuke. Hey duck-haired punk, that's not a bad idea, I've got oil that can help if you have fire, said Gamabunta, realizing what Sasuke was planning. Duck-haired punk, said an obviously irritated Sasuke. Kurama had failed in doing everything he could to keep himself from laughing. Sasuke shrugged it off, knowing that arguing with a giant toad was not at the top of his list of priorities. Now for you, orange punk. When the Shukakao calls, you need to get in there and wake that medium, explained Gamabunta as Sasuke prepared for his fire attack. Just let me know when, duckhead. Sasuke gave a little signal and Gamabunta unleashed his oil. Kaiten, dragon fire breath, shouted Sasuke as he ignited the oil, which sailed towards the Shukaku. The demon badger was engulfed in a massive inferno. By the time the smoke cleared, the Shukaku was almost completely encased in a glass shell. Haha, take that you dumb badger. Kurama couldn't help but laugh at the Ichibi. Gamabunta charged forward for Naruto to go and attack the medium directly. Sasuke was having trouble barely hanging on as he had used up almost all of his chakra with that last fire jutsu, trying to make it as powerful as he could. When Gamabunta met the Shukaku, some of the glass chipped away, but Naruto was able to get off to deliver those blows. Unfortunately, some of the sand surrounding Gaara had peeled away and some sand was able to wrap up Naruto. Kurama gave the boy one last burst of his chakra and lunged his head forward towards the medium. Wake up! Naruto shouted as he headbutted the medium, forcing it to wake. As he did, the Shukaku crumbled. Naruto and Gaara were falling, only for the Chief Toad to catch them before returning home with his son. After all this, I feel tired and empty, said Naruto. The two were facing each atop opposing trees. We are the same, you and I. Let's make the end of it. Naruto and Gaara made one last bout at each other, falling to the ground as they clashed. Both of them laid only feet apart, neither able to move because of the drain that was now being felt through their entire bodies. Upon feeling the massive burst of chakra, Haku had left the frozen Kankuro to check out the situation with the rest of his team. When he got there, he saw Sakura pinned against a tree, but the sand encasing her was slowly crumbling away. He caught Sakura after the rest of the sand fell apart and she was finally free of her prison. Throughout the village, a cursed scream could be heard coming from inside the purple barrier that contained the battling Hokage and his former student. As the barrier finally collapsed, the four-sound ninja grabbed their master and retreated. The Hokage lay on the top of the roof, dead. However, he had managed to seal part of Orochimaru's soul with him before departed for the next world. While he may have been defeated, the Hokage had made sure that Orochimaru wouldn't be threatening the village anytime soon. Around the village, the tides had quickly turned as the shinobi of the leaf were quickly repelling or killing the foreign invaders. As Orochimaru retreated, so did the remaining forces inside Konoha. The battle for Konoha had been won. Kakashi saw the whole ordeal end and faced Baki and the Anbu. Kabuto, you are right before us completely exposed, Kakashi said as Kabuto removed the mask. Hey, what do we do? Asked Baki. Slowly retreat, replied Kabuto. With that, Kabuto and Baki disappeared in a puff of smoke. What is that guy dragging himself over here for? Thought Gaara, unable to move. Naruto was slowly inching his way closer and closer. My existence won't be put out. It won't be put out. Will I be saved? Called out Gaara. This guy, he wants to destroy because of what happened in the past. So for what reason do I exist? I thought I was like him, no, not quite like him, and that this is the worst pain I know, thought Naruto as he inched closer. A world where one's existence is unnecessary. No, don't come any closer, screamed Gaara. Being alone, being incomplete, what you must feel, what your pain must be, I understand that, said a crying Naruto. Gaara looked on in disbelief. But, for all the people who are precious to me, if you hurt them and try to kill them, I will stop you. What the? Until now, for the sake of other people, Gaara said. Because they rescued me from the hell of being alone. They acknowledged my existence, that's why they are important to me, explained Naruto. Thoughts of his past, the one person Gaara used to see as precious, circulated throughout Gaara's mind. What made this kid so strong? Love. Sasuke jumped down to Naruto's side just as Temari and Kankuro did the same. That's enough. Sakura's been saved, explained Sasuke, having made his way to the ground. Is that so? Naruto smiled. Temari and Kankuro prepared for a battle, but were stopped by Gaara. They were shocked, seeing Gaara in this state, completely exhausted. Sasuke picked up his teammate and Temari and Kankuro, who was now suffering from a more severe case of frostburn that Yugito had after her match against Haku, did the same with their brother, heading off back to their respective villages. Haku came up to them, carrying an unconscious Sakura on his back. Shortly after, Jiraiya showed up on the site to see Team 7 recovering from their victory. Sasuke recalled the battle and Naruto added that Gamabunta wanted to talk to Jiraiya. This was almost as bad as the death of his teacher. A few days later, a funeral was held for those who had fallen in the line of duty to defend the village. Amongst the most honored individuals was Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage, who fell to Orochimaru, but not before sealing his arms away and rendering Orochimaru's jutsus useless. It was a sad day, as the sky was gray and the heavens cried for the dead. The one who was probably taking it the hardest was Konohamaru, the Sandaime's grandson. The funeral was hard for both Iruka and Naruto as well, with the Hokage being almost like a grandfather to them as well. At the hero's stone was Kakashi. The same place where he normally was when he needed to think. The ceremony for the Sandaime is about to begin, said Yugao, carrying a bouquet and walking up next to Kakashi. She placed the bouquet at the base of the stone to honor her fallen comrade, Hayate, who was killed during the month preceding the attack. Kakashi-senpai, are you here for Obito? You're always late for examinations, is it for some reason? Actually, I was here rather early, said a down Kakashi. But I didn't know what to say when I got there, I used to be foolish and did meaningless things all the time. Not far from where Kakashi and Yugao were, Jiraiya was sitting against a training post, reminiscing on the old man. This is the same place where he took the Sandaime's bell test to become a genin, the same test that he gave to his students, one of which gave it to Kakashi, and Kakashi gave the test to Naruto. On the outskirts of the wall, two cloaked figures stood over, observing the damage that had been done. We don't need to destroy what's already suffered a lot of damage, what do you think? One of the figures said. The village is at the end of its prosperity, we shouldn't feel sorry for it, said the other figure. Gaara's no longer here. Actually, do you still miss your old village? Itachi, said the first figure. No, not at all, stated Itachi, the second figure. That asshole Sarutobi, cried Orochimaru from his secret base. Kabuto tended to his master's wounds, although there was nothing he could do about the arms. Well, it wasn't going to be that simple, stated Kabuto. Out of all the 5 cages, they say the Hokage is the strongest, however, 2 out of 5 isn't bad. Orochimaru sent some killing intent towards Kabuto. Stop saying comforting words, or I'll kill you, hissed Orochimaru. We didn't even manage to get Sasuke, said Kabuto. That is no concern, said Orochimaru ominously. He will come to me. We just need to give him a different kind of push. Orochimaru looked over at a crippled hand sitting on his desk. If only we had gotten Itachi Uchiha to join us, then we wouldn't have this sort of problem. Because he's even stronger than me, that's why I left that organization. A whistle was heard by a team of scouting sand ninja. The squad joined up, wondering what it was the whistleblower had found. It's over here, he said. This is, they all said in horror. They've been dead for a while, before the Chunin exams, said the whistleblower. I see, so that's what happened, growled Baki. That bastard. Orochimaru. At the bottom of the ravine they were looking into, there lay the Kazekage, dead. A complete surrender by the sand to the leaf was issued and Konoha accepted. Orochimaru was placed as the mastermind to the entire attack. Thanks to him, both villages were without a cage. It was the day after the funeral, and although things were hard in the village hidden in the leaves, everyone was starting to settle down and get back to work repairing what was destroyed in the attack. By this time, word had gotten around about the battle between Team 7 and the Ichibi of the Sand. Most of the villagers acknowledged Sasuke as the sole reason for the defeat, however even he knew that if it hadn't been for Naruto, the demon would have won. There were a handful of villagers that acknowledged that the reports were accurate and that Naruto had played a vital role in the defeat of the Ichibi, particularly the group of villagers that he had saved during the invasion and the same ones who were starting to have a change of heart about Konoha's demon brat. The battle was still echoing in Sasuke's head. Naruto had managed to show off some amazing abilities there, including the summoning jutsu and that blue sphere that Naruto had shoved up Gaara's ass. Sasuke knew Naruto had access to the Kyuubi's power, but the power Naruto demonstrated wasn't all Kyuubi. Making himself a Jinchuriki was completely out of the question, after seeing what Gaara had become, but he had to find some way to increase his own power if he ever hoped to avenge his clan and kill his brother. A summoning contract was on his list of things to get, and he already had an idea on how to get his hands on one, and that one jutsu of Naruto's had to be at least on par with his own Chidori. Naruto had found a jutsu that had surpassed him, and now it was Sasuke's turn to come up with something to surpass Naruto. Of course Sasuke knew Naruto, being on his team and after all the small competitions they normally had when it came to training. When he surpassed Naruto, Naruto would find a way to surpass him and the cycle would just keep repeating, neither one of them willing to let the other one get ahead of the other. He realized that this was where he would get his strength from, the rivalry between the two of them. It was getting late in the afternoon and Kakashi had called a team meeting, not at the usual training ground, but in a private meeting hall in the Hokage's tower. There was something that needed to be discussed, and it needed to be discussed now. Team 7 arrived at the meeting with Kakashi already present. The fact that he was even early for this meant that this talk was going to be important, and the team already had the idea that it revolved around a certain blonde-haired teammate of theirs. Kakashi, you're early? Asked Sakura, coming into the room. Sakura had just been released from the hospital after they reset the broken ribs she had from Gaara's sand. Thankfully, those were the worst of her injuries and she was just bandaged and told to rest for a week to recover. Yes, well, I've been meaning to talk to you about the events in this past exam, said Kakashi. First, I must say that I am actually impressed by your performance in the exams. To be honest, I didn't fully expect the 4 of you to grow so much. Wait, does that mean you didn't expect us to pass? Asked Sakura. This realization irritated both Naruto and Sasuke. To be honest, I nominated the 4 of you to give you the experience of these exams. It is rare that someone passes on their first time around. However, I knew you were ready, which is why I nominated you, explained Kakashi. However, there was one person out of you that particularly caught my attention, Naruto. I'm going to leave the 5 of you alone. Have fun, Kit, laughed Kurama as he retreated back into the darkness of his cage. Hey, get back here. You're as much a part of this as I am, shouted Naruto, but he got no response. Naruto smiled and put his hand behind his head as the group's attention turned towards him. They knew this talk was coming. When did you figure out? Asked Kakashi, referring to the Kyuubi. Well, you see, it happened back in the Land of Waves, said Naruto, explaining the story of how he and the Kyuubi met. Wait, does that mean you know as well? Well, I am your mentor, plus I've known longer than you have, replied Kakashi. I suspected you realized it back in the Land of Waves when I felt that sudden burst of chakra. If it wasn't for the fact that everyone on Team 7 knew exactly what they were talking about, this would have quickly become a rather awkward conversation. Kakashi turned to the rest of the team. Based on your reactions, I suspect the 3 of you know as well. When did you find out? Back in the Forest of Death, after Naruto tapped into the Kyuubi's power against that Orochimaru guy, replied Sakura. After we were able to escape from Orochimaru and Gaara, we had already seen the chakra cloak that Naruto got and he decided to tell us. Chakra cloak. Naruto, how much power has the Kyuubi been giving you? Asked Kakashi. Even he knew that with Jinchuriki, a chakra cloak required a rather large amount of power. Well, he's been giving me as much as he can without damaging the seal, replied Naruto. He helped me out against Gaara and I was able to get the cloak to 2 tails. Kakashi looked at Naruto worried for the boy. Naruto, 2 tails is a rather large amount of power to use without having the Kyuubi influence you. If you continue giving in to him, he could break free and destroy Konoha, again. You see, the funny thing is that it's all a big misunderstanding. Argued Naruto. Now Kakashi was becoming increasingly worried, but also a little curious. What are you talking about? Questioned Kakashi. Well, you see there was this guy that manipulated him into attacking the village. He honestly wanted nothing to do but mind his own business, but that guy came after him and forced him to attack the village almost 100 years ago. It was the same thing 12 years ago when he was forced to attack the village again. Because of that, he was sealed inside of me. He just wants to get free and mind his own business. Kakashi cut Naruto short. Naruto, that is most likely a ploy the Kyuubi came up with to trick you. You can't listen to him, he wants nothing more than to manipulate you, said Kakashi. He's not manipulating me. We came to an agreement and the 2 of us are working together, well at least the best we can with the seal as tight as it is, replied Naruto. And the seal is like that for a reason. Kakashi was cut off by Sasuke. Kakashi, I even think what Naruto was saying is true. Against Gaara, Naruto was in complete control, unlike Gaara, even when he wasn't fully transformed, explained Sasuke. Plus the Kyuubi apparently gave Naruto the power willingly to stop Orochimaru. Apparently he was trying to give me some sort of curse mark or something. We'll talk about that another day, Sasuke. Now Naruto, the Kyuubi is an evil demon and he's manipulating you to use more and more of his power so he can influence your actions more. I would like to believe that the Kyuubi is on our side, but you have no proof that it is. As such, I'm going to have to place a second seal on you to reinforce yours and block the Kyuubi from communicating with you, explained Kakashi, preparing the seals. At least he knew what had stopped Orochimaru from giving Sasuke the curse mark. He doesn't believe me, what do I do? Asked Naruto. Kit, make the hand seals you, Inu, Saru, Tora. Then put some chakra, about as much as you put into a normal summoning jutsu and say, contract summoning jutsu, that will summon the contract you and I agreed on, explained Kurama. Naruto did as he was instructed with Kakashi wondering what the boy was doing and on guard in case the fox had anything to do with this. Contract summoning jutsu. He shouted as a rather large scroll, about the size of the toad summoning scroll, appeared before them. Naruto, what's the meaning of this? Asked Kakashi. It's the contract that Kurama and I came up with, said Naruto. Kurama? Questioned Kakashi. The fox, his name is Kurama, said Naruto. Kakashi was now a little more confused, but proceeded to open the contract. He was surprised at the contents of the contract. Basically, it clearly stated what happened to the fox when he attacked the village and why he was sealed within Naruto and the former Jinchuriki. It also displayed the agreement between the two that Kurama would aid Naruto in exchange for his freedom when Naruto died. Furthermore, the fox would not have a hand in Naruto's death and would furthermore do his best to ensure that Naruto would die of old age. The contract was signed in blood by both Naruto and Kurama. However, the one thing that caught Kakashi's attention was the name of the one responsible for the attacks on the village, Madara Uchiha. Naruto, how is Madara Uchiha connected to all of this, particularly the Kyuubi attacks 12 years ago? He should have died over 50 years ago, asked Kakashi. Wait, Madara Uchiha? Asked Sasuke, stunned upon hearing the name. Kakashi briefly explained to Sasuke about Madara Uchiha, including his defection from the village after the Uchiha clan allied with the Senju clan to form Konoha. He then explained the fight between Madara and Harashima Senju where Madara used the Kyuubi in that fight. I don't really know, but Kurama said that he was being controlled by a Sharingan wielder and that the power of that person was the same as the man who fought with the first Hokage, explained Naruto. Neither of us know how to explain it. I mean, someone over 100 years old should be dead, but Kurama thinks that this man is alive. Alright, said Kakashi. I'll have to look into that matter. Perhaps Master Jiraiya knows more about it. But that still leaves your little agreement. Who is to say that the fox won't keep his end of the bargain? Even amongst demons, blood contracts are binding, said Jiraiya, appearing out of the corner. Master Jiraiya, how did you get in here? Kakashi questioned. I know how to get around a few privacy seals, explained Jiraiya. Pervy sage, shouted Naruto as Kakashi's sweat dropped. Pervy sage. So this is the person that trained Naruto. This is Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin. Thought Sasuke. Sakura also realized who had walked in and had punched Naruto over the head for referring to one of the greatest ninja in the leaf, as a pervert. Little did she know, that Jiraiya was in fact a super pervert. Stop calling me the kid, shouted Jiraiya. Inside, the fox couldn't stop laughing. Anyways, I supervised Naruto before the exams. I checked and the seal is fully intact. He also seems to have rather good control over the Kyuubi's chakra when needed. Okay, but what is it about a blood contract with demons that is making you so sure? Questioned Kakashi. I'm no expert with demons, but I do know a lot about the seals used here. One thing is for certain though, if the Kyuubi doesn't keep his promise to Naruto and harms the village or anyone Naruto doesn't want hurt by him, the fox will die. It's one of the few ways a demon can truly die outside of being killed by another demon. Kakashi got it now. So is there anything to worry about? Regarding the fox? No. I think it is safe to say that Naruto will have controlled access to the fox's chakra. However, this does present other issues, explained Jiraiya. You mean? Replied Kakashi. Yes, said Jiraiya. Huh, what are you two talking about? Said a confused Naruto. Naruto, there are people in this village who will try to take advantage of you if they knew you could use the power of the Kyuubi. That's why I told you to be careful in that letter, explained Jiraiya. They have their own selfish agenda and will manipulate you to their will. Naruto, does anyone else know you can access the Kyuubi's chakra? Asked Kakashi. Besides Haku, Sakura, and team over there, no, said Naruto. Dobe, replied Sasuke to Naruto's insult. Although, I suppose Gaara might know, seeing as he is a Jinchuriki as well, said Naruto. Kakashi and Jiraiya both understood that. Okay Naruto, just remember what we said about using the Kyuubi's chakra. Keep it to the absolute minimum as it will cause problems if certain people in the village know, said Kakashi. Alright, I guess that means I just need to learn some more cool jutsus like the Rasengan, said Naruto. Kakashi nearly face-planted upon hearing the word Rasengan come out of Naruto's mouth. Kakashi asked Naruto where he leaned that from and Naruto pointed to Jiraiya. He then asked Naruto for a demonstration and Naruto did so, surprising Jiraiya that he had actually managed the jutsu in the 3-4 weeks time. Ooh. Speaking of which, Kakashi, can you teach me the Chidori? Now it was Sasuke's turn as the eyes nearly burst out of his head. Sorry Naruto, but I don't think you are the type of person to learn Chidori, said Kakashi, receiving a few complaints from Naruto. Jiraiya promised to explain later and Sasuke was relieved that Chidori was one technique Naruto would not be getting. Jiraiya informed Kakashi that the village council had been called and that they had to leave to meet up. Kakashi knew what was going on, although he didn't think they would convene this early. As such, Team 7 had the rest of the day off to do whatever they wanted. For Sasuke and Naruto, this meant training. Sakura and Haku were different. Kakashi and Jiraiya entered the council chamber. The entire council was there, Koharu and Homaru, the Hokage's advisors. Hiyashi Hyuga, Chusa Akamaiki, Shikaku Nara, Inoiki Yamanaka, Shibi Aburame, Chu Minazuka, Asuma Sarutobi, and Murakumo Kurama, the clan heads, a few members of the civilian council, the feudal lord of the Land of Fire, and some old veteran called Danzo. They knew why they were there. The village needed the next Hokage and the council had been assembled to select the next Hokage. Danzo spoke first, pretty much restating what most people though, that the Godime Hokage was needed at this time. While Danzo secretly wanted to nominate himself as the candidate for Hokage, he knew that he had little support. It wasn't long before Jiraiya's name came up as a possible candidate and most of the council, especially the feudal lord, agreed with this decision. I'm sorry, but I must decline. I'm simply not that type, said Jiraiya, shocking most of the people sitting in the room. A few members questioned his decision. But Jiraiya, you are one of the legendary Sannin, stated Koharu. With the trouble of Orochimaru, we need a strong leader, we need you. If you are not the correct person for the job, then who is? There is another person among the three Sannin, said Jiraiya. That is Tsunade. This sent stirs around the council chambers. While she was qualified for the position, no one knew where she was or if she would come back to the village. Jiraiya even volunteered to go and look for her, stating that he would bring her back. Jiraiya, if you are leaving to find her, then you will need to bring several Anbu with you on your search party, said Koharu. Jiraiya took this a different way than Koharu intended. Don't worry, I'm not going to run away. That's a little excessive to have someone watch over me, said Jiraiya. However, there is one person I would like to take along. I found an interesting new egg. For now, the council agreed with this. If Jiraiya was able to bring Tsunade back, then they accept her as the Hokage. If not, then they would have to come up with someone else. Jiraiya went searching for his interesting egg, Naruto, and it wasn't long until he found the blonde exiting Ichiraku Ramen. However, Jiraiya noticed that he had a little stalker. A few meters behind Naruto, Hinata was ducking in and out into alleys and behind boxes, trash cans, and various objects as she followed her crush around, unbeknown to him. It was becoming obvious to Jiraiya that Naruto was completely oblivious to this girl. A closer inspection of her revealed her to be a Hyuga, and the lack of a seal on her forehead indicated that she was from the main branch. This would make for an easier conversation as the one he now had to talk to was one of his former students. Jiraiya jumped down to meet with Naruto. "Gah, pervy sage," shouted Naruto. "Don't call me that, you little brat," shouted Jiraiya, wringing the boy by his neck. "Anyways, I was wondering if you were up for a little trip." "Wait, trip," said Naruto. "Why would I go? I need to convince Kakashi-sensei to teach me Chidori." "Well, we need to find this woman. Think of it as a mission. It's a special trip, and we'll even stop by the red light district in Hima. Not to mention, I'll teach you more than Kakashi could ever teach you," explained Jiraiya, getting that perverted look on his face. "Woman. Red light district. He just wants to do that research thing, doesn't he?" said Naruto to the fox. "Humans," responded the fox, trying to go back to sleep. "And also, this woman is hot, she wants to meet you," said Jiraiya, patting Naruto on the back. "You're trying to fool me, pervy sage. Whatever you say, I don't want to," shouted Naruto. "Ha, she knows a technique that is much better than Chidori," scoffed Jiraiya. "But you're not coming. I guess I could ask Sasuke." "All right, let's go," shouted Naruto, getting that excited look on his face. "I'm going to my house to pack up my things, don't leave without me." Naruto took off quickly, leaving both Jiraiya and Hinata, who had hidden an ally and overheard the whole thing, in the dust. "Naruto is leaving on a trip," thought a depressed Hinata. "I wish I could go." Hinata began fantasizing herself on a trip, just her and Naruto for a few weeks. This caused her to turn red and nearly faint. Jiraiya caught the young Hyuga peeking out from the ally and just gave a slight smile. This was going to be an interesting trip. Outside the Hokage Tower, Kakashi was leaving from the council meeting. Suddenly he heard a familiar voice. "Kakashi, my eternal rival," said Guy, putting his arm around Kakashi and radiating his usual guyness. Zabuza had come at a bad time to find Kakashi. "We never tallied the count from our little contest. I had 52, what about you?" "Oh, Well, looks like you win this one, guy, Kakashi admitted. I only had 47. He remembered that he had to take some time off to assign the mission to Naruto, Sakura, and Shikamaru. Ha, Leaf Ninja, you're so soft, laughed Zabuza. 52 is all you had. I had 68. Kakashi was indifferent, but Guy got that spark in his eye that usually means people should start running. Yes, a second eternal rival has shown himself to join me along the road of youthfulness, shouted Guy. Kakashi then went to Zabuza's side and spoke quietly. If you want to leave the village, I won't stop you, he said. Zabuza was wondering what Kakashi was referring to. In his first couple months in the village, he already had the pleasure of being assigned to multiple assassination missions and even got a bloodbath killing sound ninja. He hated to admit it, but Konoha was pretty good for him. However, when Guy began shouting again, he quickly realized what Kakashi had said. The next time we meet Zabuza, I will show you the full power of my youth. Now, I will go do 5,000 push-ups for losing to you, was all Zabuza could say. What the hell had he just gotten himself into? Kakashi just smiled and walked away. Kakashi found himself at the local tea house in the village. Inside, the two figures from earlier were also sitting at the table. Oh, hey, you two guys look good together, Kakashi said, seeing Kurenai and Asuma walking towards him. Idoit. Anko asked me to pick her up some sweets, responded Kurenai. Are you guys on a date? What about you? Did Anko ask you to pick up some sweets as well? Asked Asuma. No, sometimes I stop by to pick up stuff, but I'm just meeting up with someone, said Kakashi. I'm waiting for Sasuke. This caught the attention of the two cloaked figures in the shop. Ha, Kakashi, it's rare for you to be here first, not to mention twice in one day, said Sasuke walking up to him. He caught a glance from one of the cloaked figures in the shop. Something about this person did not seem right. However, before Sasuke could get a second look, they were gone. Kurenai and Asuma also noticed this and disappeared as well. The two figures found themselves walking along a river in the village. It's been a while, Asuma-san, Kurenai-san, said one of the figures removing his hat. He was facing the two Jonin who didn't look happy that he was here. You're originally from this village, why did you come back? Asked Asuman. Itachi Uchiha. So you're already acquainted with Itachi. Then I should introduce myself, said the other cloaked figure. Kisame Hoshigaki. Now then, we have all been acquainted. Asuma grinned. I guess we were meant to meet. Now I have the task of taking you on. Itachi, your home village doesn't seem to like me very much, said Kisame. I've heard of him, Kisame Hoshigaki. Originally of the Hidden Mist, explained Kurenai. A daimyo killer accused of starting destructive actions against other clans. The Mist has been searching other clans to find this slippery shinobi. You people are S-rank criminals ranked in the bingo book, said Asuma. You were pretty brave to come back to this village after that incident, Itachi. Asuma, Kurenai, please do not interfere with my affairs, you will only get killed, said Itachi. So how do you plan to back up those words? Either something is wrong with the way you think or you are just too full of yourself, said Asuma, pulling out his knives. At the same time, Kisame reached for his sword. What is your purpose for being here? Kisame slammed his sword into the ground in front of Asuma. Much to his surprise, they didn't flinch. Kisame, just do what I say and don't let them get back to the village, said Itachi. But don't do too much, your work can be quite excessive. Kisame charged at Kurenai, chopping down with his swords. However, Asuma stepped in front, blocking the blow with his knives. Kurenai flipped through a few signs and began to disappear in a vapor. At that time, the bandages on Kisame's sword began to unfurl, revealing a scaly-looking sword. Kisame pulled back and the scales dug into Asuma's shoulder, leaving him with a minor wound. My sword, Samehade, is now off to slice you into bits, Kisame said as he made another slash at Asuma, further increasing the wound on his shoulder. Itachi and Kisame were wrapped up as Kurenai's genjutsu finally came into effect. They were pinned against a tree as Kurenai drove a dagger towards Itachi. She quickly found out that she was the one bound to the tree. Itachi had reversed the genjutsu on her. This is the genjutsu counter, she thought. Genjutsu of this level has no effect on me, said Itachi as he drove a knife into her, dispelling the genjutsu. She wasn't physically wounded because Itachi attacked her in a genjutsu, but she was stunned long enough for Itachi to kick her into the river, distracting Asuma. As expected, Kurenai, this is it for you. Kisame and Asuma clashed. Kisame thought that he was just out of the reach of Asuma's knives, but he soon found out that he had been cut on the face. Looking at Asuma, he could see the knives glowing with a chakra blade coming out of them. Tsuten, water shark jutsu, called out Kisame as he launched a large jet of water at Asuma, shaped like a shark. It collided with a jutsu that was the same as he had cast. The jutsu is the same as mine. Oh, it's just you, Asuma said as Kakashi stepped between him and Kisame. At the same time, a shadow clone stopped Itachi from harming Kurenai. You just got here, huh? No, I got here just a little bit ago, said Kakashi. Kisame sent another blast of water toward Kakashi and Asuma, only for his jutsu to be countered with the same jutsu. Kakashi Hataki, said Itachi, turning to the real Kakashi. Kakashi looked at Itachi. He was facing someone with the true Sharingan. This was going to be a difficult fight. Now it's time to dance, said Kisame. I have a reason to show off my jutsu. With the exception of Itachi, this one has the Sharingan as well. He is well known as Copy Ninja Kakashi. The two people in the shop back there, I didn't think it would be Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hoshigaki, said Kakashi. Well, you know my name, said Kisame. I'm honored. However, you're asking for death. Anything to say before we fight? Move Kisame, Itachi called out. He was a little shocked at first, but Kisame jumped to Itachi's side. Just as Kakashi's clone was about to take out Itachi, Itachi turned into a flock of crows, revealing himself to be a clone as well. Kakashi's clone was quickly dispatched by Kisame when he landed. Remember why we are here, said Itachi, appearing at his partner's side. Well, why don't you mind telling us why you are here? Asked Kakashi. We've come looking for something, said Itachi. Itachi threw a few shuriken at Kakashi. If it hadn't been for Kakashi's Sharingan, the subtle movements of Itachi's attack would have gone unnoticed and Kakashi would have most likely died. Tsuten, water release barrier. Kakashi shouted, blocking Itachi's shuriken. At the same time, water drills rose up out of the water and clashed with the barrier. Thankfully, Kakashi was alright, until Itachi stabbed him in the back with a kunai. Kakashi turned into water, revealing himself to be a water clone. Nice one, Kakashi thought Kurenai. Ha, this Itachi is just a copy. Kurenai, get down, shouted Kakashi, leaping out of the water in front of her and tackling her as Itachi's clone exploded. Kakashi and Kurenai were uninjured, but Kakashi was breathing heavy as water rained down on them. Asuma quickly ran to their side. Keep your guard up. This man became leader of the Anbu at age 13 inches, warned Kakashi. Is that all he has? Asked Asuma. No, that is not his full power yet, replied Kakashi. You are not related to the Uchiha clan. We are true masters of the Sharingan, claimed Itachi. Still, your body is suitable for that eye, but it does not contain any of our blood. Itachi had his eyes closed. He slowly began to open them. I will show you the true power of the Sharingan masters. It couldn't be, shouted Kakashi. Both of you, close your eyes now. Kurenai and Asuma did so, noticing the panic in Kakashi's voice. Kakashi also closed his normal eye, leaving his Sharingan locked on Itachi. Listen both of you, under no circumstance shall you open your eyes. If you look into his eyes, it's all over. Just listen to what I tell you. Only a person with another Sharingan could probably fight this fight. That is true, only another master of the Sharingan could challenge me. Some resistance could be made to this Mangekyo Sharingan, said Itachi. However, this Sharingan has a special eye jutsu. My illusion jutsu Tsukiyomi cannot be beaten. Only a Sharingan user with the same blood as me can defeat me. Sasuke, exclaimed Kakashi, realizing what Itachi was hinting at. Itachi's Sharingan began to transform into a 3-point shuriken as he activated the next level of his Sharingan. Suddenly, Kakashi felt the world around him grow dark. Kakashi found himself in a dark world. Wondering where he was, he soon found himself chained to a post with his arms spread out. Standing in front of him was Itachi, who quickly multiplied to become about 24 Itachis. Kakashi then felt a blade be jabbed into his gut. This is the world of Tsukuyomi. All of space, all of time, everything matter, everything is under my control, explained Itachi as he continued to stab Kakashi. For the next 72 hours, you will be stabbed by these katanas. For what felt like several hours, Kakashi was repeatedly stabbed by Itachi. I must say, I am impressed that you managed to hold out this long. Only 71 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds to go, said Itachi. It had only been the equivalent of 1 second and already Kakashi felt like he was ready to collapse into unconsciousness. Suddenly, Kakashi dropped to the ground, sweating and out of breath. He felt like part of his soul had just been broken and that he was almost on the verge of dying. Kakashi, what happened? Asked Kurenai. It seemed like weeks in there, yet it was only seconds here, Kakashi thought, still struggling to stay somewhat upright even though he was on his knees in mental pain. Why didn't he just kill me? Hey, that jutsu causes a breakdown in spirit. It's surprising he's still alive, said Kisame. However, Itachi, you should be careful about using that, as it causes you harm as well. You're looking for Sasuke. Kakashi barely managed to get out. No, replied Itachi. The Yondaime Hokage's legacy. The Yondaime's legacy. What do you want with him? Said a heavy-breathed Kakashi. Both Kurenai and Asuma had a feeling what Itachi was referring to. Naruto. Flashback. It's been a while, said Kakashi to Jiraiya. First time you've come home in how many years? Kakashi, said Jiraiya. I am going to be keeping Naruto in custody. It was the role of the third generation to watch over him. It was a good decision by the Sandaime to have you watch over him. I guess someone is trying to get you involved as well. What is it you want to tell me? Asked Kakashi, who was leaning against a railing next to Jiraiya. I have been watching Orochimaru's movements since he left the village. That person will return to the village someday, explained Jiraiya. Since it's already clear, that's the beginning of something. At first, it was just about Orochimaru. What about him? Kakashi continued to ask. That guy joined a certain organization, said Jiraiya. Kakashi was now trying to get the details on that particular organization out of Jiraiya. Although I don't know the full details, from what I know, it's called Akatsuki. It's a small organization composed of 9 shinobi. So far, there has been little movement. Most of those people are listed as S-rank criminals in the bingo book. And Itachi is also with them. They are up to something. Recently, Orochimaru defected from the organization. The members move in teams of 2 at all times, assembling jutsus and whatnot along the way. And they are after the Kyuubi. Are you sure of it? Asked Kakashi. It's very likely, stated Jiraiya. After all, it's one of the tailed beast. It's some of the strongest chakra out there. Kakashi, this is Naruto's fate, to live always watching over his back. I will take Naruto and begin to train him. I want you to look after Sasuke. After all, Itachi is in that organization. End flashback. Your target is the Kyuubi, isn't it? Asked Kakashi. Both Kurenai and Asuma were shocked by this revelation. You have begun to move, you don't think we know. The name of your organization is Akatsuki, isn't it? Kisame, take out Kakashi, said a calm Itachi. It is time for these people to disappear. Kisame charged forward. Konoha Senpu called out Guy as he landed a strong kick to Kisame's side, sending him back to Itachi. Who the hell is this? Asked Kisame. The Leaf's prideful green beast, Guy proclaimed. Might Guy. What the, better yet, why don't I just mistake you for an exotic animal, said Kisame, still recovering from Guy's kick. As Guy arrived, Kakashi finally toppled over in pain. His mind had enough torment and needed to rest to try and recover, if possible. Guy, don't look into Itachi's eyes, warned Asuma. That's what happened to Kakashi. I already know about that. The way of fighting with Kakashi was done through the Sharingan, explained Guy. I already know how to fight him. Both of you, open your eyes. It's alright as long as you don't look into his eye. Using the reflection is the only way that you are recognized and dealt with. The way you talk about it, so that's how it's done, realized Kurenai. That's pretty smart, admitted Asuma. But there is only one person who can do that, you. There is a method to it, but we don't have time, said Guy. Get used to it now. Kurenai, take Kakashi to the medical center. Asuma and I will handle these two. I've already arranged for reinforcements, they will be here shortly. Hey, aren't you brave? Taunted Kisame. Kisame, stop, ordered Itachi. We did not come here to start a war, regrettably, let's leave. Kisame was slightly hesitant at first, but the two of them left, leaving the four-leaf Jonin without their opponents. Oh, sensei, said Hiashi as Jiraiya entered the Hyuga compound. A few other Hyugas bowed to the well-respected Master Jiraiya. What brings you here? I thought you were leaving on a trip with Naruto. I was, but something else caught my attention. I'm still on my way out, but I want to make a slight change to who I'm taking with me, explained Jiraiya. I'm looking for a young Hyuga girl, main branch, midnight blue hair, you know her. Oh, you must be talking about my daughter, Hinata, replied Hiashi. This was getting even more interesting. He had met Hinata once when she was a baby, but didn't recognize her after all these years. Well, I'm thinking of also bringing her along. I planned on training Naruto while looking for Tsunade, and I suppose I could offer her some training, explained Jiraiya. I suppose this means you are going to teach them chakra elemental manipulation? Asked Hiashi. Jiraiya nodded. While the Hyuga clan primarily focused on taijutsu, their members were also trained to a certain extent in ninjutsu, to help offset the disadvantage that range presented to them with the gentle fist. Every member in the clan had earth chakra, which complemented the gentle fist. Like the earth, the gentle fist was powerful, firm, and unyielding. The gentle fist blocked the chakra flow of the body just like the earth did to the flow of water in rivers and streams. Hiashi figured that it was about time Hinata began to learn the earth element to help her progress in the art of the gentle fist, and Jiraiya had been a good teacher for him in the past, despite some of his shortcomings. Alright, just let me go get some of the family scrolls that I believe will help her, explained Hiashi. It was at that time that Hinata walked into the compound. Oh Hinata, good you're home. Father, what is Master Jiraiya doing here? Asked the young Hyuga. Jiraiya-sensei stopped by to discuss a training opportunity with you, explained Hiashi. Hinata was hoping that this was going where she thought it was. Now, Jiraiya was the one who taught me, and I felt that he did a very good job teaching me about the earth element that is common in all Hyuga. He's leaving on a journey for a few weeks, and he has decided to bring you along and begin your training in elemental chakra. Hinata-sama, this is a good opportunity for you, I suggest you take it, encouraged Neji, who had joined the conversation for a few brief moments before leaving. Apparently, the elders of the clan wanted to speak to him about something. But why are you asking me? I thought you were taking en Naruto. Asked Hinata. I am, I'll be taking both of you with me. Is there a problem? Said Jiraiya. I'm going on a trip with en Naruto. Thought Hinata, going all red. Eep, was all she could let out as she fainted to the ground at the very thought of being with Naruto for the next few weeks. I'll go prepare a few scrolls for you to take for Hinata's benefit, Jiraiya-sensei, said Hiashi. A rather cold and ominous look appeared in his eyes, and his Byakugan activated. I'm warning you though, do anything dishonorable with my daughter around, and let's just say you won't have chakra flowing to a certain part of your body. Jiraiya gulped at his student's threat. A scream was heard from the nearby building that Neji had entered a few minutes ago. Jiraiya and Hiashi rushed over to see what the source of the scream was. Neji found himself on the ground clutching his head and crying out in pain. You have dishonored the clan by losing to that thing, one of the elders said, activating the seal on Neji's head. What the hell are you doing? Shouted Hiashi, bursting into the room. Let my nephew go immediately. No, you failed to punish him for losing and dishonoring the clan, so now it is up to us to punish him, said one of the other elders. Suddenly, the elders found themselves wrapped up by a tongue and thrown against the wall as the pain left Neji. Hiashi looked back to see that Jiraiya had summoned one of his toads to deal with the elders. Hiashi went to pick up Neji, who had fallen unconscious from the whole ordeal. He had finally let go of his grudge against the main house, and this is what he had gotten. Both Hiashi and Jiraiya were disgusted. If I may ask, why did you intervene, sensei? Hiashi asked. He was grateful for Jiraiya's assistance, but curious as well. As a seal master, it sickens me to see seals used in that matter, said Jiraiya. The two proceeded over to Hiashi's house as the elders did their best to try and recover from being slammed into the wall. However, the force with which they had been thrown was rather large, and they soon lost consciousness. A few moments later, Hiashi came out with a handful of scrolls for Hinata's purpose, and one Jiraiya had never thought he would see. It was the scroll for the caged bird seal. Does this mean you want me to? Asked Jiraiya. Yes, if you could. You are the only one with the knowledge capable of removing the seal, explained Hiashi. The elders have been growing out of control lately. Neji is not the first they have used the seal on unjustly, nor will he be the last if it cannot be removed. I beg you to find a way to remove it. The other side to Hyashi's request was that he was now looking at every possible means available to prevent him from having to seal one of his daughters within the next few years. If this meant finding a way to remove the seal, then he would do it. Also, he had made a silent promise to his brother's grave a few days ago to find a way to free Neji from that fate. About an hour later, Jiraiya was at the gate with Naruto and Hinata, who still couldn't believe her luck. She would be spending a few weeks with Naruto. While Naruto still wasn't sure why Hinata was coming along, he was not denying that it would be nice to have someone who's not perverted coming along. Jiraiya was thinking of what was to come. He wasn't the author of the #1 best-selling adult novels for nothing. It was obvious to him that Hinata had feelings for Naruto, and it was even more obvious that Naruto didn't recognize those feelings, something that he would have to fix. It was time to play a little matchmaker. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.